Hello, my lovelies. How are we today? Oh, man. All right. We just had Cinco de Mayo last week. This week. That was fun. We went to Prescott and got some tacos. I don't remember what it was called. But yeah, we went to Prescott and got some tacos. It was so good. Um, for Taco Tuesday and Cinco de Mayo. That's kind of cool. It's amazing for all the holidays that we have related to other countries and all the foods that we eat from other countries and from all the for all the all these international things that we do as Americans. Americans really haven't invented anything cultural, um, you know, as far as like foods that reign true to America, except for like the hamburger and the hot dog. And I mean, what does that say about America? What does that say about our country that the only good food that our country has actually created from our country is like some of the worst food you could eat? Think about it, people. Just think about it. Something to chew on. Anyway, as Americans, we all really need to wake up and see what we contribute to our world. Um, and how we interact with the rest of the world. The whole entitlement thing and being, just expecting everyone else to feel like they're inferior to you when in all actuality, on every intellectual level, uh, in a lot of the major countries in our world, we are completely inferior because we have been programmed into this thought process of the American way. Just think about that for a little while. What our society has expected us to dumb ourselves down to. So, this is a message from the Mother Goddess, from our planet Earth, from the feminine aspect of the divine. Please give us a clear message that we need to hear on this day. Thank you, Mother Goddess, for joining me here and giving me a clear message for the day. Are there any more cards for now? No. All right. So we start out at the bottom of the deck with the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands represents a marriage, a happy reunion, a graduation, the birth of a child. You got the keys to the castle, and now you are where you belong. Okay? It's a celebration, it's a reunion, it's the 1111, it's the divine feminine. It's well, Venus represents 1111. It's so think about that, the 1111 awakening portal and the divine feminine. I am channeling the divine feminine. Am I still recording? Yes, I am. Okay. So we have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is a picture of him defending himself against an onslaught of people coming at him. Okay, so the Seven of Wands, it talks about setting boundaries. It talks about taking the insults, taking the things that people are saying or throwing at you, and defending yourself against that, or taking what's being said to you about you, for you or against you, and working with those energies and deciding whether or not you're going to make them valuable to you or not. I mean, deciding if they hold any value to you or not. You really have to be discerning about how you feel about yourself and how other people are perceiving you. Yeah. So how are you perceiving yourself, and how are other people perceiving you? The page is a young man, or yeah, a young person, and he's well, it talks about being compassionate. Cups are about emotions, and see how he's overdressed. He's dressed very well, but he's standing on his own coattail. He's standing on his own little train there that he's got himself regaled with, and he looks kind of foolish. Standing there with all that dress and clothes and stuff. He can barely hold his hat on his head. So make sure you're compassionate and don't try to make yourself look better than you really are. Okay? Don't fake it. Be real. Be who you are. And set the boundaries. All right? Lead with your heart. And don't step on your own coattails. And don't try to make yourself look better than somebody else. You just make yourself look a fool. Okay, we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords, well, she talks about being very clear-minded. The Swords talks about the way you think. It talks about how you use your intellect as a woman. You have the ability to see into other people's intentions well enough to know whether you should cut them off or not. Because as a woman, we have that intuition. It's called the woman's intuition, and we should definitely be using that. That's why we have that gift. So we can use our intuition and set the boundaries and decide whether what these people are saying about you or doing to you is worth your effort or not. We have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a very strict spiritual teacher. If you do not adhere to his wisdom, there is karmic realities to be paid. Go smoke over there. All right, I gotta go turn off the fan. The smoke is blowing right in my face. Hold on. All right, that's better. Okay, so be very clear-minded about who you allow into your boundaries. And the Queen of Wands says, make sure that you hold your emotions in check. Don't fly off the handle. The Queen of Wands is a very fiery individual, but she's also very sexy, and seductive. So don't be seduced. Okay? By what other people are looking at you as. Don't be seduced by what other people are saying about other people. Really make sure that you know your thoughts. Make sure that you know where your passion is and where your energy lies and what your belief system is. She's a very spiritual and very smart person. The divine goddess says to follow your spirituality, be passionate, and do what you came here to do and follow it with an entire passion. Okay? Like, do it with all your heart. The Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles, they all know exactly what they want and they're not afraid to go after it. And don't allow what other people think and say about you hold you back, because they're just jealous. They really are. They can't fathom that you wouldn't be bothered by what they say. The Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles talks about being independent. It talks about growing your own garden, make your own way. We need to create a new way. We need to create a new heaven. We need to be able to make women safe. Where we have the smart woman and the passionate woman come together and create a new heaven. Come together as women. We need to come together and stop talking and infighting with each other. Oh God, yeah, that's what this is about. This is about like gossiping with each other. Because this guy, he's holding on, he's like, okay, so he's like holding all these people coming at him at bay, right? I mean, he's standing there, he's got his, he's not striking at anybody. He's just like, back the fuck off. He's standing guard, but he's not, he's defending himself. And they're all coming at him. So, we need to not be so defensive. And we need to not be so, yeah, because these girls are talking shit about each other. Why are we talking shit? Why can't we just work together as a community? Why can't women get together? Why do we have these jealousy issues? Seriously, there's plenty for everybody. There's plenty for everybody. So there's no reason to gossip. There's no reason to talk bad about each other. We need to come together in the name of the goddess and bring life back to our planet. The Magician says we have everything we need. We have everything we need. We just need to stop bickering and manipulating each other. And we need to come together in peace and celebrate the fact that we are women. If nothing else, just to celebrate the fact that we are women. And we can work together with different personalities and different ideas. And we can make it work. But we have to stop fighting amongst ourselves, and we have to be able to unite ourselves as the divine feminine. What else? Is there anything else? You stop. Yeah, we need to stop talking behind each other's backs. Being manipulative. Like, Somebody outsmarts you, so you have to go and, I don't know, like undermine them, manipulate them, play games. Instead of coming together with our passion and our wisdom and making something beautiful happen. I'm not getting any more messages from this. So yeah, six of wands. Celebrate your success with your other lady friends. We need to come together as women. Why do we crucify ourselves every day? Crucify myself. You can make different decisions. Take a higher perspective. Like really look at how undermining those that you're supposed to be working with affects your energy. How does it affect the way you feel about yourself? I mean, really. When you have everything you need already, you just need to follow your spiritual path. You need to follow your higher calling. We're not here to be in competition with each other. We're only here as women in this world to work together and make the world a beautiful place. 11, whips. Repetition of the same thought or physical action develops into a habit, which repeated frequently enough becomes an automatic reflex. This card showing up, a whip and a birch rod, has multiple interpretations, some negative, some positive. Whatever situation being referred by this card, things are happening in a repetitive, ongoing manner. The whips card often relates to the communication and may involve arguments, banter, negotiations, prayer, mantras, insistent nagging, criticism, and bickering. This card is sometimes interpreted as indicating physical punishment or violence or abuse of power, but its more general meaning is any action that occurs regularly and repeatedly or ritualistically. So it could refer to exercise, training, dancing, sports, cleaning, hobbies, practice habits, sex, or any other repetitive routines. This card is also a reminder to sweep away harmful behaviors. Okay, so pay attention to your routines. Like, what do you routinely talk about to your people? Like when you're in your little groups of women, do you talk about how you can move your world forward? Or do you talk about how other people are behaving in their world? I mean, really think about it, because if you're just judging other people, habits, thoughts become habits. Your words become who you are. Your repeated thoughts and your repeated actions and the way that you repeat certain things in your life, the program, it creates more of the program. So really think about what your repeated thoughts are and how you think about yourself and how you judge other people. The repeat patterns in your life, the things that happen over and over and over again. And you're like, why does this keep happening? Ask yourself, what is that thing that just keeps happening no matter what you do? It just happens every time. All right, and we have number 4, the house. A house is not a home unless it contains food and fire for the mind as well as the body. The house in the Lenormand is the card representing your house, your home, that place that means security and stability in a warm, safe place, a source of comfort and contentment. In this card, we see smoke rising up from the chimney, suggesting that someone is home, tending to the hearth, and providing a warm welcome to family or visitors. Just as the house is the structure that protects you, it means that you need structure and boundaries in other areas of your life as well. Security, stability, comfort, structure, and welcome. So, your repeated patterns have become your structure. As divine feminine, our repeated patterns have become the description of what we are. It's who we've become. Our repeated patterns have become our, you raise your house, you raise your family in the home, right? What happens in the home? Everything happens in the home. The functional stuff and the dysfunctional stuff, right? So look at what is dysfunctional in your family. What is unstable? How can you make your home more stable? How can you make your world a safer place for you? And as women, we need to come together and make it a safer place for us. This is our home. Our planet is our home. And as a divine feminine, we need to remind the divine masculine of that fact. And we need to take a higher perspective and realize that, all this infighting and talking behind each other's backs and playing games with this, just talking about people behind their backs. Why? What's the point? It just makes you look bad. It really does. God, the divine feminine's way of gossiping and talking about other people, when we should just be focused on adjusting each other's crowns. If there's a problem with another queen in your neighborhood, tell her straight up, don't play games. Don't be like little, talking shit. Tell the lady, I don't know what else. And you know what? Honestly, when people start insulting you and talking behind your back and playing games with your friends and trying to like get people to hate you, um, that's like the biggest, most flattering thing that someone could do for me. Because that's what lets me know that I'm doing something right. Because somebody noticed. Somebody realized that I'm really good at what I do, right? That's why I'm here, is to be good at what I do. All right. So, yeah, pay attention to what you do in your house. What kind of dysfunctional home stuff are you perpetuating in your home? How is the divine feminine treated in your home? Uh, think about that. I mean, think about that. Really, really think about that. Is the home a safe place for the divine feminine? The coffin. Health is not valued until sickness comes. The coffin is referred to as a death card, but it does not always mean a literal death. A person may have chosen to retreat and hide away from people and problems, and sometimes before moving on to form a difficult or painful situation. Okay, so all right, so we need to look at our greatest fears. We need to look at how we are um, hiding ourselves away, how we are, I mean, death. It's like the death card. We need to shed that skin. We need to not. I was talking about like dysfunctional homes, right? So we need to be able to heal from that. We need to go into a healing state and heal ourselves from this toxic, repeated cycle of a home that's not safe. Um, what else? We need to change the cycle. We need to change the system. We need to change the things that are going on. We need to follow our higher calling. We need to celebrate ourselves. And truly begin to invest in our dreams. And truly begin to invest in our desires as divine feminine. What does the divine feminine truly want? What does it mean to be truly divine feminine? Um, when you repeat the patterns for the sake of repeating the pattern and you're not paying attention to what's going on, that is the definition of being asleep. And we are supposed to be waking up. We're supposed to be coming out of this coffin. We're supposed to be coming out of this. We're supposed to be making our homes a safe place. And stop the repeated patterns. Knight of Cups, or the Page of Cups, Page of Cups, Page of Cups, Page of Cups, Page of Cups. I'm just not organized today. Okay. Page of Cups. Let's see here. Princesses. Have compassion for what others may be going through. It's time to recognize your true desires. It's time to forgive yourself. So yeah, forgive yourself for whatever harm you've done, for whatever you've done in this cycle of dysfunctional home, in this cycle of, we got the swords and the wands against each other. It's like, well, they're kind of looking at each other sideways. Like, she's like, oh, really? And she's like, yeah, bitch. Like, wow, okay. I wasn't going to go there, but you wanted me to. So, yeah, okay. You know, that kind of thing. Stop doing that to each other. Just stop. It's a repeated cycle that we as women need to stop. Women have been put in this image of, you know, gossip and fighting with each other and all this on purpose from the patriarchy. We do not need to deal with this shit. Okay? We need to come together as women and work together. So what if so-and-so's brother, I don't care. You know, we just need to kick the men out and yeah. Really, we need to get clear about what we want our world to look like. And forgive ourselves. Queens. The queens. Let's see what the queens say. The Queen of Swords. She's not uncaring. You know, she actually cares a lot. And that's why she has to guard herself so much. The Queen of Swords is on guard because she cares so deeply. She doesn't show it because people are manipulative. People like to play games, you know. Therefore, I can't show my true heart because somebody else is gonna come and, you know, make it not worthy. You know, the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Swords is like the cold ass fucking truth. Yes, this is it. right? And the Queen of Swords, or the Queen of Wands, tries to make it warm and bubbly. um, Pay attention to your emotions and see what, see what they're telling you. You can see a way forward when you get still and you get clear headed and you stop allowing your passions and emotions take over. Forgive yourself for what you did. Let yourself off the hook. Let others off the hook. You don't have to tell them that you forgive them, but you can stop hating them. Yeah, they did you wrong, but don't hold resentment. It just takes energy from you. The more you hold resentment, the more you hold on to past mistakes of others, the more energy it takes from you, the more energy you give it, the more energy you give the wrongs that people have done to you, the more that you attract that kind of energy. The more you sink into the victim helpless personality, the more you attract that kind of behavior. Your repeated patterns create your reality. Your repeated thoughts, the things you do on a regular basis, create your reality. So really pay attention to the decisions and your reactions. And your children are watching. Your children are watching. Stop talking shit behind people's backs. It's not a divine feminine thing to do. If you are a witch, if you are goddess centered, then we should all be centered on uniting the divine feminine, not tearing her apart. And teaching our children to treat the divine feminine with respect and honor. That is what the divine's message is today. So think about that. Treat each other with respect and honor. Set boundaries. Set boundaries with yourself. Have compassion for other people. Realize that we are all on the same journey. And we all experience it differently with different levels of pain. Mine was quite intense, so it didn't happen slowly like a lot of other people. Just thoughts. But yeah, the more intense the pain is, the faster it goes. So really open yourself up to that pain and feel it. That's what needs to happen. You need to be able to feel the pain in your life and let it go and not hold on to it. And you get to make the decisions of where you go with that energy. Take a higher perspective and look at it. Really look at how you are behaving in this world as the divine feminine. Because if you are a woman If you are a woman, you represent every single woman in the world. Just think about that. And what does it mean to be a woman in this world right now, today? Thank you, my lovelies. And I hope you have a wonderful day.